Hello everyone, this hour on Verbling, the next in my speaking skills series. We're going to be working on I think it's class 20 of speaking skills. We're going to start a brand new topic, a new unit, telling stories. What you're going to learn here, you can apply to any kind of stories, even anecdotes. You can talk about your experience. It's going to be the same kind of vocabulary. So you'll find it useful in a variety of different places. Let's see. Give me just a second here. Let me just see if I have everything working the way I want. Let me just quickly share my screen for the introduction. There we go. Okay. So before that, just a quick introduction, personal introduction. I'm Jon-Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out from Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. By the way, here are three quick rules to help you participate in my class. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means when you're not speaking, turn off your microphone so we can keep the classroom quiet. When you are speaking, tune in to the new words that you're learning and use them actively so I can correct you and give you feedback. Finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. So keep that in mind as we do the class. And now, let me just say hello to everyone. Whoops. I have to sort of fix my background. It's a little bit light. All right, everyone. So, welcome back to Max. Nice to see you. And Franz. Hello. And Adela. Wait, Adela. Are you the Adela that used to be in my classes and I haven't seen you in a long time? That Adela?
Yes.
Or are you new? Oh, it's that Adela. Oh, from somewhere in Spain, from the Basque country. Now, right? Where are you from? I can't remember.
Valencia in the...
Oh, Valencia. Okay. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, very good. Franz from Switzerland and Max from somewhere in Italy, right?
Yes. Hi, good morning, John. Good morning, everyone.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. In the chat window, I'm going to just quickly post our notes. Give me just a second. The notes are in these notes. You'll see it there. You can open those if you like. I'll try to share my screen as well. I'll try to. When I share my screen, I can't see any of you. That's why I have to always make a presentation and share the presentation. But let me see if I can do this in a different way. Hang on just a second. Maybe I have a way to do this. Hang on just a second here. Oh, you know what? Google Chrome cannot sign in. Yeah, hang on just a second. I might be able to. Let me see if I can do this. I think I can actually share my screen. I just realized I could maybe open this in another window, and that'll make our lives a little easier if I can do that. So give me just a second here. Okay, that's not it. Well, if I can't share my screen in the way I want, then I'll just share my browser. But yeah, I can. Look at this. There we go. There we go. Look at that. I've been doing this for 2 years, and I just realized a new trick right now. Look at that. Okay, good. So I opened a new instance of the browser, and you can actually see this, and I can see you. Wow, look at that. Exciting. Okay, everyone. This makes my life a little easier. So what I'm going to do then, because normally I have to download this as a PDF, and it takes a long time to do. But it looks like it's working. Looks like it's working. Good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to try a new skill. for those of you who are just joining us, when you open the link in the chat window, all of you have been here before. I didn't see who just left. I hope you're coming back. Well, we lost one. Hopefully we'll be back. So if you see the link in the chat window and you open it, you'll see that icon, so you know you're in the right place. That graphic. On the second page, whoops. On the second page, hang on. Oh, you're back. I was just about to ask. I can't see your name. Luo, who is next to you on the screen? I can't see the name.
I'm the rightmost one. Who next to me?
Okay.
I think
is
Ron.
Yuki.
Sorry, okay.
Its name is
You're
Ron.
in a different order on my screen. Okay. Long. Okay, I can't see the name. Okay. Hi, Long. Can you just say a quick hello to the group?
Hey, I'm having some problem with the audio.
Okay, but you sound okay. We can hear you okay. Where are you from, Long?
I'm from Vietnam.
From Vietnam. Okay, nice to have you. So, when you open the link, you can open or download the document, but when you open it, you'll see this graphic, so you know you're in the right place. And I'm going to see if I can scroll down. You'll have my contact if you want it. And then you'll have a table of contents below that of everything we've done. I've reorganized this recently to make it a little bit easier to follow. So we have a link there to a mind map of all of our key connectors. Things like, well, I should start by saying, so to sum up, on one hand, on the other hand. So we're developing a kind of a visual map of all the ways you can connect ideas together. And we tend to use it in class, if not the map, then the connectors from the map. And what I've done is given you some of the tools that we've done in the past with those key connectors in the first section there where it says tools. So some of these are already filled in, some of them we still have to fill in, but basically you've got the way we've structured our answers for those topics, like how to describe a photo and talk about the theme, how to comment on a partner's opinion if you're talking about a theme and you agree or disagree, how to talk abstractly, how to make a monologue, how to make a dialogue. Those are things we did earlier, last year actually. So I still have to add some connectors for those, but the first step was just to create a kind of a tool for you that has a clear procedure, how you actually go about organizing your thoughts to do those things. So those are there, and I'll keep updating them, put in some of the language we've used. So some of them are filled in, some aren't, but I'll update it. So, and also, as you can see in the previous classes, in the first section from last year, we talked about personal information. Everyone created a kind of introductory monologue where you talked about your background. In the next section we've been doing more recently, we've been describing photos and talking about the themes from those photos. So you can review any of those classes you like. And we're going to start a new section now telling a story. So if you want, you can click on class 20 and it'll take you to page 7. Okay, and we're going to get started with a new set of key expressions and connectors and a new skill. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. This is a little bit of an experiment. Let's see if I can do this the way I want. What I'd like to do is to begin with by giving you a set of pictures, and as a group we're going to figure out exactly what the story is and how we ought to tell it. These are not the best pictures. I'm warning you in advance. I had to work very quickly this morning, so I'll give you better pictures another time, okay? But let's just do our best. I had to find something quick that we could use. So give me a second here to paste these. Okay, so underneath, telling a story, class 20, you're going to see, there we go. You'll see these appear as I copy and paste them. And if you can't see it on screen, then just open the document and you'll see it close up. Okay. So far, so good. And yes, I am putting these in order. Okay. And that's about it. All right. So on page 8, you'll see the last 2 pictures. Sorry, it's a little slow because I got the browser open twice, but hopefully you'll be able to see this. Maybe I'll make this just a little bit smaller so it all fits in one place. Give me just a second. Let me shrink this one down a little bit so I can get both pictures on the same page. Okay, there's that. And this one. Okay, so what we're going to do when I get this all on the same page is that we're just going to go around the room and try to tell the story as a group first. We're going to try our best. Let me see if I'm going to have to make this pretty small to fit on the page. And it still won't fit on the page. Why is that? Let me try one more time. Because I think it'd be easier if you can see this all in the same place. 1 second. Make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay. And last, I'm going to put this. I'm going to try to view this as a continuous sheet instead of separate pages. And then maybe you can see this a little bit. I don't know why I can't get this all on the same page. It should work, but it's not. Let me see if maybe I can. Ah, there we go. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to make this, again, if you can't see this, just open the document and look at it on your personal computer. I've got to shrink these images down a bit because it's really hard to see them on the same place, okay? So, I'm going to have you start to create the story. I'm going to have you do it first, and then I'm going to come back in and work on both the vocabulary that you could use and the key connectors to link the parts of the story together. If, as a class, your key connectors sound good, I'm not going to change anything. So it'll really be up to you. Give me just a second here. So I'm going to try to fit all 4 pictures on screen. You should be able to see them now. And yeah, I think we're ready to go. Okay, give me 1 more second because I just need to open another document and we're ready to go. Do I have everyone? Oh, and Giuseppe joined us. Not you. And Giuseppe and someone else. Who is this? I can't see any of your names for some reason. Who is our friend with the very dapper gentleman with the tie? So Max, I know you got a tie, but who's the other guy? I can't see his name. Yuki, who's the guy with the red shirt and the tie? I can't see his name for some reason.
Max, his name is Max.
Not Max, the other one. Is it
Fido. Fido.
I see.
Hello?
Hi, Fido. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I'm fine.
Hello, Fido. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Can you hear me okay, Fido? Very good.
Very
good. Very good. Listen, Fido. Make sure all of the windows are closed, except the Google Hangout, because I'm getting feedback. Okay? Okay, so make sure there's nothing open except the... Okay, Fido, you keep muting my microphone. Please, I'm the teacher. Don't mute me, or no one can hear me. Okay, so don't mute me. Okay, we lost Fido. All right, so listen, everyone. We're going to go around the room in the order that I see you. It might be a different order that you see yourselves on screen, but I see Yuki, then Max, then Luo, then Long, then Giuseppe, then I can't see who's next. Giuseppe. And then finally Adele. So I've missed one person. Yeah, today is something wrong with the Hangout. I can't see the names. So who did I miss here?
Me, Franz.
Say again?
It's me, Franz.
Franz, okay, yeah, I couldn't see your name on screen. Okay, very good. All right, so we're going to try to tell the story as a group, and then I'm going to go in and give you some suggestions and give you a set of key connectors, okay? So we're going to try it first. As you tell the story, I'm going to write it underneath the pictures, okay? So, Yuki, I want you to start off with the first picture.
Yes.
And any introduction you might say if you were about to tell a story. And then we're going to go on to, it's going to be you first, then we're going to go on to Luo to continue with the second picture. We're going to try it like that. Okay? So how would you begin the story, Yuki? Looking at the first picture.
It seemed to be a
What
bank.
might you say first, looking at that first picture?
First picture, it seems to be a bank.
Can you hear me okay, Yuki?
Can you hear me? No? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I hear you, John. Can you hear me, classmates?
Yes.
Thank you.
I think there's a delay. I think there's a delay. Let me just sign out and come back
delay,
in.
John. Maybe you hear me with delay, yeah?
Let me sign out and come. Let me sign out and come back in because
Maybe
I think
you'd
there's
better
a delay
to
in my
restart
connection.
your browser, okay, John?
Yeah,
We are waiting
I'll be right
for
back in 1 second, everyone. Okay? Give me just
Okay,
a second
that's
to
okay.
return. All right?
Don't worry.
Give me 1 second to return. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yukino, are you Japanese?
Yes, I'm from Japan.
Yeah, where do you live?
Currently, I live in.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Where are you from?
I'm from Vietnam.
Yes, I'm sorry. I just heard about it. It is the first time for you to join the class?
What?
It's the
Yeah.
first. It's the first
No,
time for you to join the class.
No, this is my second one.
Second one.
Yeah.
It is the first time for John's class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Nice.
is the first time for Mr. Jon-Eric.
Okay. Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How do you like the class? I mean the babbling class. How is your impression?
It's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I get to meet people.
You mean get the people? Means you make a friend? Here?
No, I mean I get to talk to
I see.
people around the world.
You have an opportunity to talk in English here. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you learned English?
For a few years.
4 years. Oh, that's
A
excellent.
few years.
Few
Maybe
years.
1 or 2. I think so.
Your English is very good.
Yeah, I learn English from playing games.
Playing games?
Yeah.
Do you like to playing game? Maybe it's a role playing game, some kind of, yeah.
Can everyone hear me okay, by the way?
I
Yeah,
hear you.
Okay,
I
very
hear you clearly now.
All right. Yes, I guess the problem was that give me just a second here. I guess the problem is that I had the browser open twice so I could avoid downloading the document. So that was the delay, but it didn't work. Somehow it created a delay. So I apologize for the late start, but it's just a technical problem.
That's good.
Anyway,
That's okay.
some people
Don't
don't
worry.
think so. Some people don't think it's okay, but the point is, Google Hangouts, it's kind of an experiment, and sometimes things don't go well. But we have to be a little bit patient. Anyway, I apologize. Okay, so I'm going to share. I downloaded this as a PDF, and I don't know if I can get all the pictures on screen at the exact same moment. Maybe I can. Let me see if I can just change the view. Can I? No, I can't. Oh, wait, maybe I can. No, I can't. Okay, so I can't get the pictures on the screen at the same time, but I'm going to show you the first two, then the second two. As you start to describe the pictures, I'll write it, and we'll go back and revise the writing and add the new vocabulary and connectors. So, Yuki, I think you were starting us off.
Yes.
If you were going to tell this as a story, what's the first thing you might say? And could you then move on to the first picture, and then we'll go on to Luo after you. Go ahead, Yuki.
If it was story, I would begin with the description describing the scene, maybe from the weather.
well, let's imagine this. Let's imagine this. This is something that you saw, on the way to work this morning. This incredible thing, and you're telling it to a colleague. You won't believe what happened. Something like that. So it might be helpful if you tell it as a kind of personal experience, because at the end you're going to tell your own story from your personal experience. So imagine you witnessed this. How would you describe the events? Okay?
You want me just to describe the scene or telling a story?
I want you to tell it as a story, but I want you to focus only.
Different.
I want you to tell it as a story, but I want you to focus on the first picture only.
Okay.
If you can.
On the first picture, it seems to be the scene in bank. Two robbers attacking the bank, maybe to rob the money from there. I see the car standing by the bank. Two robbers getting from the car, entering to the bank. I suppose that they are going to attack the bank to rob money.
Okay, very good. And you said you see a car. What was the part of the car again? Just so I don't miss that. I see a car doing what?
I see a car is standing. No, staying.
Waiting.
I see the car is waiting by the side of bank, by the bank.
By the side of the bank is okay for me.
By the side of the bank.
Okay.
Nearby the bank. It's better.
Okay. Well, by the side it's okay too, but we'll change if you like. Near the bank.
Near the bank.
Okay. Let me just get that on screen. All right. Sounds good. So, as a description, I agree completely. As a description, I agree completely. We'll turn the description into a story a little bit later. If you're more comfortable, it's fine. Don't worry. If you're more comfortable describing it, we'll do that first. That's perfectly okay. It's a little hard for me to make these pictures bigger. Let me see if I can just blow this up a little bit. Maybe it's a little easier to see. Okay, next.
It's big enough.
Yeah, I got it. Next in line looks like Max, actually. So Max, why don't you, let's do what Yuki was doing, because maybe that's a good way to generate vocabulary. So let's focus on describing first. How would you describe what you see in the second picture?
Yeah, in the second picture, of course, there is the continuous of the story, but started in the first. We can see probably into the bank, and
instead of
in the right hand.
One second. Instead of can, just say we see. Because in Italian, you might say we can see, but it sounds strange in English. Get rid of can. So in the second picture, we see what?
Okay, of course, we see. Okay, of course, teacher. We see the two thieves that are into the bank, and the thief with the black jacket has a gun in right hand. He told hands up, as we can see. Okay, something like this. And there is the woman that is giving the money. I think these are packed to the second thief. The man with the white white jacket, and both the thieves have something not to be recognized. And I think that I don't know, but probably the ring, the bell is ringing. Of course, this is an alarm. The alarm because there are two little signs near the line. I think that the bell is ringing, and then the two thieves have to hurry up, of course, to take the money.
Okay.
And we can see also a big bag that is using by the white thief because he has a white jacket, and stopped. Okay, for me it's all.
That's a lot of information. I don't know if I can get all of that down. So look, I made a few changes already in your text where it says picture 2. Underneath the pictures, I made it just a few changes. Let me just read what I wrote. You can see it there, but I'll read it quickly. For example, the woman is a teller, a bank teller. So I added that. So I said the female teller is maybe handing over the money. I also added some of the key connectors that you heard Yuki use, because he was describing the picture and we're not sure of everything. So we have to use some like doubt words, like it seems, or it could be, or it may be. So I add that too. And I also got rid of we can see and just put we see. So I wrote, we see the two thieves outside of the bank. The one with the black jacket has a gun and is probably telling the bank teller hands up. Instead of probably telling, we should say it's probably saying to the bank teller hands up. The female teller this appear money, but money. It seems that it is ringing. We can say sounding, by the way. A bell can sound. When you ring the bell, unless you physically hit the bell, you're not ringing it, you're sounding. I guess I could say here that alarms sound, bells ring. Since this is an alarm, I'm going to say sounding. It seems that the alarm bell is sounding. So the two thieves have to hurry up. I missed some of the things you said, so I didn't get it all down, but I think that's the general idea. Okay? That was a very good description, very detailed. Okay? We're going to go on to, I believe, Luo, and you're going to handle picture 3, and then I think we're going to get to Long for picture 4. Then we're going to go back and revise this and tell it as a story rather than just description. So Luo.
Sorry, John.
Yeah.
One is inside in the picture there. We see the two thieves inside of the bank.
In picture 3, you mean?
In picture 2,
right.
we write outside of the bank. It's
Oh,
inside?
really?
Yes.
Did I write outside? Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, you're right. It's inside.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, very good. And again, I've missed a lot of the details that both Max and Yuki have said, but I hope I got down the gist, the main idea. But feel free to add anything if you want me to. Just let me know. So, Luo, I think you're next on my list. What would you say about picture 3? Looking at that from the top down, do you see anything else, or would you add anything else to the story in picture 3? There is one important detail that you don't see in picture 2, isn't there?
Yes. As in picture 3, there is maybe security guard has already been shot down on the ground. And there
Oh,
was,
is that what that is?
Yeah? What?
Is that what that is?
Yeah. There was a camera and has been recorded the whole scene, and the one criminal put a bunch of money into the big bag, and another criminal with a black coat still pointing one teller, bank teller,
Right.
and the female bank teller is putting money out of the counter to the criminal.
To the
criminal.
To the criminal. To the criminal.
Criminal.
Got
Criminal.
it. Is put. Whoops.
And the bell still alarming.
Still sounding. Still
sounding. Yes, the van still waiting the criminal by the backside.
Well, here there's 2, so you have to say criminals. Because there's 2 of them. Okay, so this is what I got. Tell me if I've missed anything important. There is a security guard that, instead of that, we'll say that appears to have been. We can't be sure, so we have to use words like appear. There's a security guard that appears to have been shot and is lying on the floor. But there is also a security camera that seems to have captured the whole scene. A female teller is putting money on the counter for the criminals. Okay, I didn't write everything you said, but I think that those were the main points. Okay, if there's anything you want me to add, just let me know. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So, moving on to picture 4. I think Long, it's your turn. Now, it appears that we're back outside. So how would you describe picture 4? Let me get this on screen for you. Sorry, I didn't share my screen in the right place. Long, what happened to Long? I was just talking to Long and he disappeared. Is Long gone? Maybe Long is having connection problems. Okay, looks like Giuseppe, you're up. So look at picture 4 and tell me, what would you add now to picture 4?
I suppose the criminals are backing up to the minivan. Once they stolen the bank, because probably the police know about the fact. And
let me just, I didn't hear the last part. You said once they have what? Once they...
I suppose that once they have stolen the bank.
They haven't stolen the bank. They've stolen the money, though.
Yeah, they stole the money.
You mean bank or bag? Maybe I'm not hearing you right.
Bank.
Well, they haven't stolen the bank because the bank is the physical building, right? So once they've stolen
the money.
The money, yeah.
Once they have stolen the money, they are backing up into the minivan where probably there is an accessory of the criminals. and they and go and go far away to avoid the police.
Okay, they go far away to avoid the police. So let's change just a few things here in your description. Just a few things. And by the way, Giuseppe, you tell me if I have made a mistake or missed anything. You said once they have stolen the money. That's okay if you're telling a story, but you appear to be describing. Once is like, you know, when you're giving the order of things. Well, once you've done that, then you have to proceed to. So here, since you're describing the picture, let's change once to another word. Maybe you mean since. In other words, because, right? Maybe you mean since, because I know in Portuguese, once and since can be, they have a different translation. So maybe you're trying to say since they have stolen the money, they are backing up into the van. Well, I don't know if I'd say backing up. They are backing up is when you're usually when you're in a car and you go in reverse, you're backing up the car. You can back up your hard drive, meaning that you make an extra copy. So you might want to say that they're backing away from the bank. That's what I say. They're backing away from the bank into the waiting van. Now, one more thing I can say here. It is a van, but we have a name for those. Well, I'll get to the vocabulary later. Don't worry. They're into the waiting van, where there probably is, where there is probably, not probably is, where there is probably an accessory. They go far away to avoid the police. Are you talking about the future now, or are you talking about the present or the past? When you say they go,
And there we go. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. It's the near future, right? So instead of using will, you have to change.
They are going to.
Yeah, it sounds better. They are probably going as far away as possible to get away from the police. Okay, I'm just going to make a few changes there to make it sound a little bit more like a native speaker. Well, let's see what we have before we continue. I'm going to give you some vocabulary now, but first let's see what we have. It seems to be a bank. Let's see. In the first picture, there seems to be a bank. Two robbers are attacking the bank. I don't want to use the word attacking. Attacking is more for people.
Assault?
But that's Spanish.
Okay.
It's true, we can say assault, but assault again, it means for people. There are two robbers. Two robbers are robbing a bank, but I don't want to say robbing twice.
Two thieves are robbed. Yeah.
Okay, maybe we'll do that. Sure, let's do that. Let's say robbing. Two thieves appear to be robbing a bank. Okay. Maybe to oops, sorry, we said that twice. Okay, we'll change it like that. Fine. I also see a car waiting near the bank. Okay, in picture 2, we see two thieves inside of. The one with the leather jacket has a gun and is probably saying to the teller, "Hands up," because she has her hands up. The female teller appears to be handing over the money. It also seems that the get rid of that. It also seems the alarm bell is sounding, so the two thieves have to up or get A female teller is putting money on the counter for the criminals. Okay. Stolen the money. They are backing away from the bank into a waiting van where there's probably an accessory that will be driving them far away as possible to get away from the police. All right, it sounds pretty good. It sounds like a native speaker to me. It sounds pretty good. Let me just ask the class, is there any vocabulary that we could add to this that we haven't used so far? So some of the vocabulary we've used is, of course, thief, criminal, rob and robber. Okay, is there any other vocabulary that you think we ought to add to the story, class?
I think we could use for last picture. The one criminal with the money whisked into the van. Whisked.
Whisk is a good verb. Whisk is to move quickly. You usually whisk something, by the way. Usually whisk something, like whisk the money into the van. But yeah, it's good. It shows that something's happening quickly. Okay, I like it. Anything else? Any other ideas? No? Okay, so here's what we're going to do then. I'm going to give you a set of vocabulary words, and I'm going to give you, whoops, my picture's backwards. I'm going to give you a set of vocabulary words, and I'm going to give you also a set of connectors, and I'm going to ask you to try to tell the story. Maybe we can pick up with Adela and then continue from there. Give me just a second, verbally. I'm going to get my name back on the screen. There we go. So, if you hang on just a second, I'm going to have to copy and paste the vocabulary like this. So take a look. I'll put it right below the text that we've written on your screen. There's one word there which I wouldn't use. It says baklavas. I wouldn't use that because that's not a word that I'm even familiar with. Hang on a second. Balaklavas. Let me just give you a definition. Balaklavas. Okay. So the definition I have here, this is maybe just because it's British English, not American English, but basically we would say a ski mask. Here it says, you know what? Balaclava. So this is even hard for me to pronounce. Balaclava. I really don't even know because it's not something that I would say. It's not really, probably not American English. We would just say ski mask for that. All right. So can everyone see where I put the vocabulary in the document, or do I need to share my screen?
Yes.
You can see it?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So Adela, can I just have you read through, if you don't mind, can I have you read through the, I'm having major problems with my Hangout today. Hang on a second here. Can I just have you read through the nouns for us?
Okay. Rubbers, food, balaclavas, van, bag, gun, manager.
Wait. Bag with a g. Bag, right?
Bag, gun, manager, bank, clerk, counter.
Bank clerk is one word. Bank clerk.
Bank clerk, counter, paneless, notes, alarm, closed circuit television.
Right. And we used a different word instead of closed circuit. We said secure. Whoops. We said security camera.
Security camera. Security.
Yeah, we used that. Security
camera.
But that's okay. You could say closed circuit television, whatever you want. Yuki, could you just read the verbs for us so we can all hear them and get familiar? Can you hear me okay, Yuki? Uh-oh, can't hear Yuki. Let's see who's next. Max, could I have you just read through the verbs for us?
Of course. Verbs: park, rush, threaten, hold, fill, count, terrify, lie, hand over, make a getaway, run, start the engine.
All right. So these are some good words, and Luo added whisk away, which is also really good. It's a good verb as well. So now what I'm going to ask you to do is try to tell the story. But first I'm going to give you some connectors. Connectors are any words which link ideas together. And in the past we've seen connectors that can do basic things like add or contrast or compare, such as but and however, additionally and furthermore, or and or on one hand, on the other hand. But we also have other kinds of connectors, like when we're giving an opinion. We might say, well, as far as I can see, as a connector. A connector might open a monologue like, well, I should start by saying. It might conclude, so, to sum up. So I'm going to give you a set of connectors right now, which you can use to tell a story. Actually, before I do that, let me ask you as a class, when you're telling a sequence of events, what connectors do you think we ought to use? What are the basic connectors to tell a sequence of events? Anyone want to venture a guess? So if we're going to tell a set of events in order chronologically, what do you think we ought to say?
Once upon a time.
Say again, Giuseppe, I couldn't hear you. Say
Once upon a time. Once
if you're telling a story.
Time. Yeah.
Once upon a time.
Upon time. Yeah.
If it's a fictional story, absolutely. If it's fictional. If it's a real story, then no.
One day. One day.
One day. I like it. One day. Because you're saying that's another way to tell something to happen, particularly if it's a fictional story. Okay? But let's focus now on telling things chronologically. Can anyone think of some connectors to tell a chronological series of events? Of course you could say first, second, third, fourth. You could do that, but it doesn't sound very natural. So instead of saying first, second, third, fourth, what could we say to make it sound a little more natural? Any ideas? No?
While.
While tells about good simultaneous actions. Simultaneous actions. I agree. That's a good word. Any other suggestions before I tell you?
After or then, no?
Yeah, okay. So then, after, I agree. Anything else? There's two more that we need.
Meanwhile.
Okay, meanwhile and while go together, but I like it too.
Afterwards.
Meanwhile. Afterwards. Okay, good. Afterwards. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is give you just a few others. Let's put these all separate now. You have then, after that, afterwards. Before that, we're going to start with first. There's really no other way to say first except first. I can say first. I can say to begin with. I can then say then, and after that and afterwards, they kind of go next, okay? I can also say
in the same time.
For meanwhile, sure. At the same time rather than in, we'll say at the same time, okay? And then at the end or finally. All right.
Therefore.
Therefore is a conclusion. So I don't want to have a logical conclusion. in this case, because we're talking about chronological events. Okay, but 5, 6, and 7 are pretty much everything you need to tell the story. First, to begin with, then at the end, and finally. You can use any of those, but the ones you must use are, you've got to use at least one from 5, 6, and 7. So let's do this. We'll call this we'll call this storytelling connectors, and I'll kind of put them in a special little, I'll indent them here like this, A, B, and C. Storytelling connectors, okay? So what I want you to do is to go back, tell the story. You can keep it pretty short. If you just have first, then, after that, finally, in other words, maybe 4 connectors, that's probably enough to tell the story. But I want you to use as many nouns and verbs as you can from the ones that I've given you. And instead of balaclavas, which is a word that I have never heard in my life, you might want to use the American version, which is ski mask. Okay? If you want to use that, you don't have to. So I'm gonna go back and put those on screen, and I'm gonna give you a chance. Hold on a second. Let me just share my screen, and I'm gonna give maybe 1 or 2 people a chance, and then you can try it as a homework as well, and I'll correct it as a homework. So let me get the pictures back on screen. Whoops. Let's go here. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so I can try to fit all the pictures on screen. It's really difficult to get this on screen. I'm sorry. A little bit difficult. Okay, hopefully that you can more or less see it now. Let me see if I can. Yeah, today nothing is cooperating with me, unfortunately. I just can't get it all on screen. I apologize about that. So I'll have to leave it like this, and hopefully you can see it on your own documents at home to do it like that. Maybe if I can just get it at 60% or something. 65, that's a little bit better. Okay, so I'll leave that on screen, and I want one of you, well actually I'm sorry, Adela, you didn't really get a chance to speak. I'd like you to try to tell the story, and I want you just to use maybe 4 connectors. See if you can keep it really short using 4 connectors. The connectors that I suggest you use are first, then, after that, finally. But I do want you to try to use 4 different verbs and 4 different nouns, if you can. Okay? Want to give it a try?
Okay.
Give it a try.
In the first picture, we see.
But I don't want you to describe the pictures. I want you to actually tell the story.
First, they are 2 thieves with the gun into the bank. Then, when they are into the bank, inside to the bank.
Then, when they got in the bank. Repeat. When they got into the bank.
Then, when they
got into
the guns into the bank.
They got G-O-T.
Got into the bank. They after they point the bank teller, and after that they put the money into the bag, the bag sport,
into the bag.
Into the bag.
Yeah, that's it.
And finally, they go far. They go far away. They go with a van. With I suppose they are a driver into the van.
Okay, very good. Instead of saying go far away, look at those list of verbs, and you've got a suggestion there that you could say instead of go far away, you've got a really good suggestion there. It's make. It's make a getaway. Make
Why?
a getaway. So could you say the last sentence again, but instead of saying go, I want you to use make a getaway in that last sentence. So after they hold up the bank, what do? Finally they...
Whisk away.
Not whisk. You're going to use make a getaway.
Make a getaway.
Mm-hmm. In what?
Getaway.
In what?
A getaway. In the van.
In the van, which is their getaway car. Very good, very good. So this is what I'm going to suggest to everyone, because we're going to run out of time here. I know you didn't all get a chance to develop the story, but what I'm going to suggest is you try on your own. You can try it as a written or as a spoken assignment, and either way, you can send it to me and I'll correct it. So if you want to try to write it, send it to me as a text in the Verbling chat window. If you want to try to speak it, record your voice and send me a link to the recording so that I can download it, like an MP3 or something like that. You can put the links directly in the Verbling message window and I can do it that way. If it's a recording, I'll upload it to a website where I can make notes on the recording. If it's a text, I'll correct it and send it right back to you. But what I want you to do is use as many of the nouns and verbs as you can and use those key connectors for telling a story. Okay? I want you to try that on your own. We had a little bit of practice now. I'm going to stop the class now because I've got to start the next one on time. But we're going to continue developing how to tell stories in the next 2 or 3 classes in speaking skills. The next thing we're going to do is turn it over to you to tell a personal anecdote. So practice with this story, and then we'll give you a chance to try one of your own. Okay? I'll be back in just a minute to start the next in the business series. We're working on the vocabulary for how to be on schedule, talking about project management. Bye for now, everyone. See you in just a few minutes. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.